there's a way to actively listen, because you're not listening because you want to ask the next question. You're listening because you want to hear, assimilate, correlate, and then kind of figure out what the customers or whoever it is you're talking to is really actually saying. So, I always like to say with the team, guys, we should never have the answers. We should always have the questions, because nobody knows everything. But if you know the right questions to ask, and I have this other philosophy, which is pretty simple, which I call ABC, which is always be connecting. So every time somebody says something, it's kind of like, how can that then spark another thought? And what if I ask a question a slightly different way? Or I've heard something now that makes me not want to ask that question, because I understand that it's either a contentious issue, or it may be a political issue, or it may be something else. And I think the only way you can do that is by truly actively listening. I mean, and there's nothing worse than any vendor or frankly anybody doing a presentation just doing a kind of show up and throw up, right? Which is like, hey, I've come to say my piece and I've got 100 slides and you're going to listen. It's kind of like, whoa, that's really not my way, and not the way that the team operates, for sure. So, and as I say, we spend such a long time in the customer environments and that's a very privileged position, right? So you can't just go in and do a whole, the vendor speak. It's like, how can I understand what it is that you're really trying to tell me? And you do that by the active listening piece, and then the questions are much more natural, whether they're for confirming or even in some cases challenging what you've heard, but doing it clearly in a way that shows that you understand the context in which either the answer was given or the introduction or whatever it is. It sounds easy, but it's actually really hard, because most people just want to, stick in this is what I know, I'm going to talk about this. So the connecting bit's really important. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, the fact that we have a team of diverse experience and skill set actually help with that.